Hello there, Danny H Retro Gaming Nut here. Basically, I'm going to look at some video games from like fighting games over the years. Obviously, everyone knows about Street Fighter. I will take you through some of the others in a minute, but we'll have a look at some of the Street Fighter, how that's evolved over the years. I've got here Street Fighter 2 Turbo. I did have the other one, Street Fighter 2, but I think I sold that previously. And also, in chronological order, you've got Street Fighter Collection at the top there, which brought in the new characters, like the Super Street Fighter characters, and then the Street Fighter Alpha characters like Rolento, Rose, and all that. And obviously, down here you've got Street Fighter Anniversary Collection, which is Street Fighter over the years, sort of different versions and different Street Fighter over the years. You've got down there Street Fighter 3 Double Impact for the Dreamcast. Unfortunately, I haven't got a Dreamcast at the moment, so because my one I sold because I was short of money. But I will be getting another one soon. I've kept hold of this game though because I think it is quite a rare collectible game. And you've got here Ultra Street Fighter 4, which is the Xbox 360 version, which is sort of like the latest. Well, before Street Fighter 5 came out, was the latest version of latest incarnation of Street Fighter. I did have Street Fighter 4 and Super Street Fighter 4 as well, but Ultra Street Fighter 4 has the has all the other characters in it as well. So that's every single character in that. So it's really, really cool. So anyway, that's the Street Fighter game. Right, continuing from that video, we have here some Mortal Kombat games, because Mortal Kombat was Street Fighter's main rival, as we all know. Now, basically, in chronological order, you've got Mortal Kombat for the Mega Drive there, Mortal Kombat 2 for the Mega Drive. I've got Mortal Kombat 3 somewhere as well, I had to have a look for it. Mortal Kombat Trilogy was basically all of the characters blended into one. It was a bit like Mortal Kombat Armageddon as well, which is that one there. So basically, these two were very similar in what they did, but that one had the fatalities, and Mortal Kombat Armageddon didn't. Now, obviously, I do my Mortal Kombat videos where everyone gets knocked into a death trap, but Mortal Kombat Armageddon, they sort of made the death trap ones easier to perform, just uppercutting or kicking them into a trap, the other character into a trap. But they basically got rid of the fatalities and basically did basically ripping limbs and all that, what have you, off, which basically was the maybe that was the way they had to, maybe that was the easiest way to program it, possibly. And they also did spin-off games as well. I haven't got many of them, Mortal Kombat ones. The only one I've got as a spin-off game was Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks for the PS2. I have got Mortal Kombat X and I've got Mortal Kombat 9, but I can't find the disc. I have got Mortal Kombat X for the Xbox One, and I've got Mortal Kombat 11. I haven't played them too much though, but I will have a go at them sometime soon. Also, you had the Soul series, the Soul Calibur games. I've got Soul Blade as well. I can't find it at the moment though for the PS1, but I have got the others here. As you've got Soul Calibur for the Dreamcast, so it's the other Dreamcast game. You've got Soul Calibur 2. I have got the PS2 version, but I decided to get the Xbox version for a bit of variety. And you've got Soul Calibur 3 as well. I've got Soul Calibur 4 saved on and Soul Calibur 5 saved on my PlayStation 3, because my PlayStation 3 is a modded one. And there's also Soul Calibur 6 on the Xbox One as well, which I'll have to find time to play. But all these were all pretty cool. Good rivals for the Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat for someone who wanted an alternative using swords and what have you. But you know, I do like the Soul series. They were fantastic games and very, very enjoyable. Another alternative was Tekken, which was another fighting game for people who perhaps wanted a bit more realism for their games. I've got Tekken 1, Tekken 2, Tekken Tag Tournament, Tekken 4. I've got Tekken 3 somewhere, and I've got Tekken 5 somewhere. Tekken 6 is again another game that's been saved on my PlayStation 3, the modded PlayStation 3. But yeah, Tekken was a fantastic little fighting game in its own little right. But yeah, no, I mean there are a number of Tekken games. So if you want an alternative to Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, or Soul Calibur, you know these are well worth a look. You know, and obviously they're a lot different, and obviously there were crossovers as well. Street Fighter Cross Tekken being one of them, which I've got for the PlayStation 3, and here it is. So yeah, that's the game that I often test on PlayStation 3s when I'm testing like cheap ones or PlayStation 3 consoles that I've picked out. So yeah, I mean, like I say, Street Fighter was often crossed over with Tekken quite a bit. So yeah, I mean, so it was interesting to mix it up with Street Fighter and Tekken characters. Another addition, those who wanted more realism for fighting games, one-on-one fighting games, was Virtua Fighter. Obviously, it wasn't another one. It was again more on realism rather than all fireballs and projectile type moves. So it was an interesting game. Very quite a, and you know, it was a pretty good alternative. So you know, these were really good games. The Virtua Fighter series. I mean, I've got Virtua Fighter 5 as well. But again, that's saved on my PlayStation 3. That's another really good game. However, I have got another alternative one, which obviously I don't know if many people would have heard of. I mean, those who know it do know about it, but it isn't. But it isn't one that comes across very often because they only made a couple of games for the Mega Drive. But this was done for the Mega Drive, then the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and then Xbox 360 and PS3 Virtua Fighter. So yeah, it was it was a bit of an alternative. But like I say earlier, I have got another game which is not well known. It's nothing to do with Virtua Fighter, but it's another game that wasn't very well known. It's called Eternal Champions. This is the other fighting game I've got. Now, this was a little bit like a Mortal Kombat clone. It was a good fighting game, except for one little problem. Unfortunately, the end level boss was very hard to beat, and often you had to beat him in 4 different forms, and you only got a little bit of energy back, which was really annoying. It is a good game. Unfortunately, it hasn't got any instructions, which is a bit of a shame. But it is a pretty good game, and the music and graphics on it are really good by Sega standards. So yeah, it is a really good game. The characters were all interesting, had interesting storylines. It was 6-button compatible, which most fighting games on the Mega Drive were back in the day. So yeah, they were really good games, but unfortunately after the second game, people would flock towards Mortal Kombat, Tekken, Street Fighter more, and also Soul Calibur. So unfortunately, the Eternal Champions sort of series of games sort of didn't really take off, which was a bit of a shame because if the boss was a touch easier, that would have been a cracking fighting game. But you know, it is what it is. Anyway, this is Danny H Retro Gaming Nut. Thank you very much for watching about my little review on some of the fighting games that I currently own. The one-on-one fighters anyway. Anyway, take care and I'll see you in another video. Bye bye.